Can you get your hair out of my milkshake?
Pick it up.
I'm driving.
Boy, when does that ever stop?
Who is she talking to, bro? Chill out.
Tim, when does that ever... Tim,
don't call me
please.
Tim either. Don't call me
No.
Tim.
When does that ever stop you from picking your drink up?
Don't.
Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Murder Mistress, the channel where America's most shocking and unthinkable criminal and civil courtroom battles are examined with precision, context, and unwavering attention to detail. This is where we go beyond the headlines, uncover the critical facts that others overlook, and explore the legal turning points that shape national conversations. Today, we are examining a case that has stunned family law experts, dominated social media, and ignited heated debate about marriage, accountability, personal responsibility, and the influence of online celebrities. Before we continue, please do not forget to like this video, subscribe to Murder Mistress, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the most dramatic court cases unfolding across of Montague versus Kennard, a lawsuit filed in North Carolina that pulled a TikTok influencer, a betrayed wife, and a fractured marriage into a courtroom showdown watched by millions. At the center of this case is BRENAY KENNARD, a TikTok personality known for her lifestyle content, her relationship discussions, and the carefully curated presence that helped her accumulate hundreds of thousands of followers. And standing opposite her in a courtroom was Akira Montague, a North Carolina woman who said her life was upended, her marriage destroyed, and her trust shattered because of Kennard's involvement with her husband. But what makes this case truly extraordinary is not simply the allegation of an affair or the emotional fallout that followed. What shocked viewers and legal analysts alike were the claims filed in the lawsuit: alienation of affection and criminal conversation. These are torts that originate from centuries-old legal principles, and only a few states in the United States still allow them. North Carolina is one of them. They're the kinds of claims law students read about in textbooks, but rarely see in modern courtrooms. And yet, in this case, these old legal tools became weapons in a high-stakes fight that would ultimately end with a judgment of nearly $2 million. When the lawsuit reached court, it immediately became a spectacle. What made it even more striking was Kennard's decision to represent herself. No attorney, no legal team, no expert guidance. She walked into the courtroom alone, facing laws she had never studied and procedures she had never practiced. And across from her was Akira, backed by an experienced legal team who had spent months preparing a structured, detailed, and emotional case. As opening statements began, the tension in the courtroom was unmistakable. According to those present, the atmosphere was charged with emotion and anticipation. Akira's attorneys presented a timeline that included text messages, social media interactions, hotel receipts, travel records, and even TikTok posts that they said documented the progression of an intimate relationship between Kennard and Akira's husband. They argued that Kennard had knowingly pursued a romantic connection with a married man, disregarding the vows he had made and the family he was committed to. The most explosive evidence came from late-night text messages and photo exchanges introduced in court. These messages, filled with flirtation, emotional intimacy, and explicit content, reportedly made jurors visibly uncomfortable. Family law attorney Randy Kessler, who later analyzed the case on Law and Crime, explained that for a criminal conversation claim, the legal requirement is extremely straightforward. The plaintiff must prove that sexual intercourse occurred with a married person. There is no requirement to prove intent,
Get your hair
malicious
out of my
motive,
milkshake.
Pick
or
it
even
up.
awareness of the marriage.
I'm driving.
It is one of the rarest torts
Boy,
in the
when
nation.
does that ever
But
stop?
in
Who is she
North
talking
Carolina,
to, bro? Chill out.
it
Tim,
remains
when does that
potently
ever... Tim,
Don't call me Tim
please.
either. Don't call
No.
Kennard
When
pushed
does that
back,
ever stop you from picking your
challenging
drink
evidence,
up?
questioning witness motivations, and arguing that the marriage was already deteriorating. She claimed she believed the husband was essentially separated,
life,
that he portrayed
ready
himself
with me videos,
as
doing
emotionally
product
detached
reviews,
from his
makeup
wife,
lessons,
and that
so
the
forth.
relationship had been
Hey,
failing
TikTok.
long before she
So
ever
I have a
entered the
couple
picture.
things that I got from a
She
TikTok
told the
shop
court
that
she
I wanna
did
show
not
you
intend to
guys.
harm
First
anyone,
up, this
and insisted
hydrating
she was
tint.
being
If you don't wanna
unfairly
wear
targeted
foundation,
because of her social
this would be
media
great for you.
presence.
If you've had this before,
However,
just
Akira's attorneys countered with testimony from relatives, friends, and marriage counselors. They produced counseling notes that documented attempts by the couple to rebuild trust. They submitted proof that the couple was planning to renew their vows. They argued that the marriage was not only active, but recovering, and that Kennard's involvement created a sudden and devastating rupture. According to several witnesses, Akira discovered hotel receipts, unfamiliar charges, and messages on shared devices that made her question everything she believed about her marriage. When Akira took the stand, the emotional weight of her testimony made the entire courtroom shift. She described the humiliation, the betrayal, and the pain of realizing that her marriage had been compromised by someone who did not share her vows, her history, or her commitment. She described nights spent searching for answers, the emotional devastation felt by her children, and the collapse of her sense of stability. Observers said that jurors were visibly moved, with several wiping tears during the most painful parts of her account. Kennard's testimony was far more defensive. Without an attorney to guide her or object on her behalf, she struggled under cross-examination. Legal experts watching the trial said she often seemed frustrated, overwhelmed, and unprepared for the precision of the questions asked. According to Randy Kessler, Kennard was legally outmatched from the moment she chose to represent herself. After closing arguments, the courtroom fell into a heavy silence as the jury deliberated. Social media lit up with speculation. Millions watched updates, and then the verdict arrived. The jury ruled in favor of Akira Montague. They found BRENAY KENNARD liable for both alienation of affection and criminal conversation. They awarded Akira an astonishing $1.75 million in damages. It was one of the largest verdicts of its kind in recent memory, and it sent shockwaves through social media platforms, legal communities, and couples across the state. The aftermath was immediate. Kennard's social pages filled with comments. Some blamed her. Some supported her. Others questioned the future of laws rooted in centuries-old morality. But regardless of the debate, the judgment stood. North Carolina had reaffirmed that marriage carries legal protections and interference, even in the age of social media, has real, measurable consequences. This case is more than a viral trial. It is a powerful reminder that personal choices, digital footprints, and emotional entanglements can collide in ways that reshape lives, relationships, and legal boundaries. It reflects how the law adapts, slowly and imperfectly, to the complexities of modern relationships and online influence. As always, we will continue following every development, every appeal, and every legal ripple this case creates. Because here on Murder Mysteries, we bring you the truth behind America's most dramatic and impactful cases, where human emotion, legal strategy, and public